Hey everybody, Jason back with another movie review, and I am going to continue the Nightmare on Elm Street series. This time I am going to do Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master. And what does that mean, Dream Master? We'll talk about that a little bit. The last part we had the Dream Warriors, so now we pretty much have one character in here that takes on all the, not the same powers, but you'll see, she collects all the powers from other people in the movie. And again, this is the only one I have left. I mean, is this box set again, the Nightmare on Elm Street collection, which again, I've always said I recommend getting this one. Very inexpensive for the amount of movies you get. All 7 original movies, including a bonus disc that's in the back. All right, we'll go ahead and get into this. Actually, before I do, this is another one that I grew up on. In fact, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this might have been the first one I watched, even before the original one. I think this is the original one that we got when I was a kid. We got it on VHS or something like that, and it actually got me kind of hooked. And so we'll go by the some of the characters that's in this one. Honestly, there's so many characters, so many actors that you see in here that it's not worth going over all of them, but I'll go over some. Robert Englund, of course, returns as Freddy. And by this time, Freddy is a household name. He is a rock star. They've already done, by this time, they had Freddy's Nightmares, I believe is what the name of it is. It's a TV series like Twilight Zone almost. And I haven't seen all those episodes, but I did catch a couple of them. So in between 3 and 4, you had Freddy's Nightmares. Let's see. The newcomer in this movie is Lisa Wilcox. She plays Alice Johnson. And she is what is considered the Dream Master. So, returning as Joey is Rodney Eastman. Returning as Kincaid is Ken Sagos. And returning, well, I shouldn't say, I almost did it. Filling in for Kristen is Tuesday Night. So they couldn't get the other Kristen, but you know she fills in pretty well. And then you find out it doesn't really matter anyway because she dies pretty early on. And lastly, I have as Dan. It's Danny Hassel, and he plays Dan in here, the school jock, I guess you could say. So yeah, we have the 3 characters from the previous movie that are left. They have Kristen, Kincaid, and Joey. Those are the 3 survivors, and obviously when Freddy comes back alive, he's going after them first. That's what they put on there. It's all right. I don't think by this point that he ever had any grudge on anybody, really. I mean, but what happens in the beginning is you're entered into Kristen's nightmare, and you're seeing a little girl coloring something. It ends up being the house, on 1428 Elm Street, and that's where she's at. It's boarded up. It's everybody's home of their dreams or something, and she's drawing with chalk, and she ends up drawing Freddy. And then you go inside, and Kristen claims Freddy's back. She pulls in, like we found out in the previous film, she pulls people into their dreams. Well, this time she pulls in Kincaid and Joey and Kincaid's dog, which funny that they named the dog Jason. Just a little humor that they put in there. Also, and by this time they're also, both Kincaid and Joey are pissed off. They got to prove, hey, the boiler's cold. Well, then the dog comes in and bites her in the arm. They all wake up, and she has the cut or the bite marks all over there. So later on at school, she wants to prove that or not prove, but she keeps on telling them that she believes that he is after them again because again they're the last three, the surviving three. Um, you meet here also Alice Johnson, and she is, I don't know what you want to call her. She is, I guess, I don't know if you want to call her shy, but she's pretty shy. She has a brother, Rick, and a father, Mr. Johnson, who is a complete drunk. And I'm not sure if they explain it, but mom doesn't live with them, so it's two kids with the dad, who is a complete drunk and comes home and all doesn't care what's been going on, opening up some alcohol and drinking nonstop. Rick is also he does karate, which comes back in later on, and it's kind of cool about this one that I enjoyed. Yeah, by this time Freddy had been a household name, and pretty much, I don't want to say it's a kids movie by all means, but they threw in some jokes, not over the top honestly on this one, but it's still some jokes that they didn't have in some of the other couple of them. They started in part 3 really, but you have all these group of people going to school. So I'm just going to go over some of the memorable kills. One of them was Rick. You know, he goes into the stall, and this always kind of freaked me out a little bit. He's in the stall, and it closes up, and he looks in the mirror, and it's supposed to be Kristen, which actually is his girlfriend now. And she'd already been dead. You know, she got killed in a fire. You know, in her room caught fire. You know, in her dream. And at this also, I forgot to mention that Kristen had passed the power to Alice, the power to pull people in their dreams. And this is what happens after each dream. Somehow she ends up pulling in all their different powers, including Rick. His dream was that he is a ninja, and he's fighting an invisible Freddy, which ends up being a glove, and he gets killed. And Alice falls asleep. That's how he actually falls asleep, in the stall that he's going to the bathroom in. And so she blames herself for all the kills that happen. There's a girl, I can't recall her name, but she had asthma, and it was a pretty memorable kill. Freddy's up front as the teacher, and he says the famous line, "Want to suck face?" and then sucks her, and she's skinny like a rag doll. And then when you find out, she's having an asthma attack in class, and she dies. Again, Alice blames herself because she's the one that brought her into the dream. Dan is the jock I was telling you about, which was a friend of Rick's. They had brought all the friends over to 1428 Elm Street, which is boarded up again, still, and telling the story about Freddy. And nobody wants to believe Kristen, you know, back when Kristen had told them about this. And then later on, people start killing, you know, dying one by one. And it's like, hey, maybe this isn't for real. That's what Rick had said before he had passed away. What else? Some memorable spots. I'm trying to think. There was a scene, again, where it was Dan and Alice, and they're going to get Kristen, but they go meet up at Dan's truck. She drives, and Freddy puts them in a loop, meaning that every time they get out of the truck to go into the house, they're going back around the corner again. They're back at the diner. They don't realize it, and it goes into a loop until they start realizing, oh my gosh, he hasn't been. They're both dreaming, and they're both. I think maybe it wasn't Kristen. I think it was actually the other girl. I forgot her name, but she is the one that works out, and she hates bugs. So when she dies, she gets crushed into one of those roach motels. Funny and gross at the same time. I mean, her arms were like pulling off. She turns into an insect. Let's see what else. So at the end of it, she'd collect all of this stuff inside of her, including Rick's ninja skills. The asthma girl, she built something for insects or something, and she has this. I mean, it's pretty crazy, but yeah, she does turn into the Dream Master, and at the end of it, she remembers some nursery rhyme that her mom had told her about. You know, if evil sees itself in the mirror or something like that, that the evil will die because it sees itself. And so that's what happens. They're in a church. They were in a bad accident too, and so Rick is in the hospital, and so Alice is doing it by herself. And then you see, you know, they have the mirror, not a mirror, but it's like one of those church windows. You know, I forgot what you call it, but Freddy sees himself, and then he has a bunch of hands coming out, and they rip his face open, and it was pretty gruesome. I mean, the effects in here were pretty good, and this, you know, is really good. Not much else to say about it. I mean, I do like this one. I still like this. It's not as dark as the first one was, but I think the first one to me is the darkest one. Then anything after that, it started getting a little bit not totally, but a little bit away from what the original had thought. So, all right. Well, my rating for this one is a strong 7 out of 10. It's been a fan favorite, I think, of a lot. I don't know the favorite one, but it's definitely one up there. So definitely give this one a watch, and I think you will enjoy it. I wish there was more I could talk about it on the top of my head. I can't really think of anything else. But like I said, 7 out of 10. Go and give it a watch. If you haven't, please subscribe to my channel. I would much appreciate it. Comment below. You can also comment to hey, which movies do you guys want me to review? I got a ton of them, and I'll try to do as much as I can. If you see a movie on Netflix, maybe that you want me to watch and review, I will do that also. Also, like my Facebook page at www.facebook.com/DVDReviewDude. If you like that page, I do update on that page from this channel and much more. Comment there as well. So again, thank you everybody for tuning in. I appreciate all my viewers. You guys are outstanding, and I will see you next time when I come back with the next Nightmare on Elm Street, Part 5, and that is The Dream Child. And boy, will I tell you what I think about that one. Okay, everybody have a good night. We'll talk to you next time.